heat up here. You hear that? That relentless rhythm? It's the sound of a tactical revolution. Welcome to today's Explainer, where we're diving deep into the absolute DNA of the beautiful game. So here's the big question we're tackling today. Is the historic possession-heavy dominance, Spain's classic formula, is that still going to win tournaments in the modern, hyper-analyzed, data-driven world of 2026? We're taking a trip from the chaotic, sun-drenched pitches of South Africa in 2010 straight into the clinical, supercomputer-run stadiums of North America in 2026. Buckle up because the evolution of the sport is, honestly, staggering.
Back in 2010, Spain's 1-0 extra-time win over the Netherlands was the absolute peak of Tiki-Taka. It was a system built entirely on human intuition, rapid-fire triangles, and just suffocating the opponent by keeping the ball. Real poetry in motion, right? But man, fast forward to 2026, and that exact same tactical precision, it's mathematically mapped out by artificial intelligence before a single pass is even made on the field. In 2010, precision was an art form. Today, precision is literally an algorithm. Section 1. The 2010 Tiki-Taka Blueprint. Controlling the pitch.
To really understand where football is going, we gotta understand how Spain conquered the world 16 years ago. It wasn't just about winning, it was about totally controlling the environment. Listen to this weird, rhythmic little metaphor from the era. Nice till it's cool, just cool into the mouth. Nice. Sounds kind of abstract, right? Almost like a hypnotic chant. But it perfectly nails the visceral feeling of playing against Spain's tiki-taka. They'd hit you with the slow burn possession that deliberately dismantled you. They'd passed it sideways, backward, keeping it nice and calm, lulling you into a false sense of security. Until the exact moment the temperature dropped and they sliced a through ball right into the heart of your defense. It was a suffocating beauty orchestrated by maestros like Xavi and Iniesta that turned the chaotic game of football into a synchronized ballet.
Section 2. Unpredictable Chaos of 2010. A wonderfully raw era.
And what a wonderfully raw, wild era it was. Just think back to some of these unforgettable moments. We had Sifiwe Chabalala's absolute rocket of an opening goal to kick off the first ever World Cup in Africa. We had Frank Lampard's infamous ghost goal against Germany, the one that clearly crossed the line and completely changed the debate on goal line tech forever. Then who could forget the quarterfinals? Luis Suarez literally batting away a sure goal for Ghana with his hands in the dying seconds. Yeah, he earned a red card, but he ultimately saved Uruguay in one of the most polarizing moments in sports history. Oh, and the final, Nigel de Jong delivering a literal kung fu kick to Xabi Alonso's chest right before Andres Iniesta finally broke the deadlock in the 116th minute to win it all for Spain. You seriously cannot script that kind of drama.
The sheer brutality of that era is perfectly summed up by one staggering number: 14. Referee Howard Webb handed out a record-breaking 14 yellow cards in that final match between Spain and the Netherlands. 14. The Dutch were basically trying to violently disrupt the tiki-taka rhythm, making it the most ill-tempered final in history. It just proves that behind all those beautiful passing networks of 2010, there was an incredibly grueling, unforgiving physical war going on.
Oh, and here's a fun blast from the past. In 2010, the whole globe was totally captivated by Paul the Octopus. Literally an octopus in a tank predicting match outcomes by picking between two food boxes, and he became one of the most famous forecasters in history. Fast forward to 2026, and how are predictions generated? Supercomputers, machine learning models, and complex betting markets. But here is the amazing twist. Even with all of our advanced analytics today, prediction accuracy is still far from perfect. It really makes you wonder if Paul the Octopus actually knew something our supercomputers don't.
Section 3, 2026. Moving the data. Total optimization. So we're leaving that chaotic, instinctual world of 2010 in the rear view and stepping into the highly engineered, clinical landscape of today. With 48 teams and over 1,200 players, the modern tournament is all about who processes the game most efficiently. We've traded creative freedom for clinical optimization. Controlling the ball, replaced by the exact science of pressing intensity. Finding open space is now mathematically solved through optimized passing networks. And individual flair, well, that's been heavily traded in to maximize sprint frequency and recovery cycles. Everything is tracked in real time. Players are physically running faster and recovering quicker than ever before. The romanticism of 2010 has given way to total, ruthless optimization. Section 4. Spain's modern star, Lamine Yamal.
Which brings us right back to Spain's squad today. Meet Lamine Yamal, their 18-year-old creative prodigy. He absolutely embodies that raw creative flair from the old Tiki-Taka days. But the difference now? Every single one of his movements on the pitch has been meticulously mapped by AI long before his first 2026 match. He's a massively crucial force for Spain, even as he battles a thigh injury ahead of their opener against Cape Verde in Atlanta. Yamal is basically the human element operating inside the machine, that unpredictable spark Spain hopes will ignite their optimized passing network.
Because here's the key. Spain didn't abandon their 2010 playbook. They upgraded it. Their advantage today is completely rooted in that original Tiki-Taka blueprint. It's just been adapted to the crazy pressing intensity demanded in 2026. And their secret sauce? Experts are calling it a global clubhouse. FC Barcelona is actually providing a staggering 15 players to the tournament. Having that kind of concentrated talent means Spain's core, guys like Yamal, Pedri, and Pau Cubarsí, already have this deeply ingrained club-level understanding of these complex data-driven networks. They are essentially executing the 2010 philosophy, just at 2026 speeds. But all of this evolution brings up a huge central tension that we all have to grapple with. The beautiful game is currently locked in a battle between beauty and efficiency. Look, there is no doubt that the players in 2026 are physically superior to the squads of 2010, let alone 1970. The sport is, by many metrics, better organized and faster than ever. But beauty and efficiency aren't always the exact same thing, are they? Sometimes the highly calculated, heavily optimized nature of 2026 sacrifices that jaw-dropping, unpredictable creative freedom that made teams like the 2010 Spanish squad so universally captivating. Which leaves us with one final, profound question to consider today. Back in 2010, Spain conquered the globe because they moved the ball better than anyone else in history. In 2026, elite teams conquer because they move the data better than anyone else. With pressing metrics, AI networks, and total optimization now ruling the pitch, is possession still the ultimate blueprint for dominance? Or has the algorithm finally outsmarted the art of the beautiful game? Keep that in the back of your mind as you watch the drama unfold this summer. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and I'll see you next time.